Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd pop on for a little chat. I thought I'd butt in and give my little thoughts on the guys from a YouTube channel. It's called Cruise with Ben and David. Now, a few 100,000 subscribers I do believe. I've never heard of them, or I hadn't heard of them until I went on my cruise. If you watch the videos, if you subscribe or follow this channel, you'll see I put up quite a few YouTube videos. My little vlogs. I've only got a couple of thousand subscribers, nothing massive, but I love to go on little holidays and breaks, as you all know, and do a little bit of vlogging while I'm out and about. When I got back, I didn't see these guys' videos. I saw a few other videos before I went, just to work out what I need to pack, what I need to take. Never been on a cruise before in my life, so it's my very first cruise. Brother-in-law booked up for us, a crowd of us went on the MSC Yacht. Few things wrong with it. Now, that'll be coming along in another video, but in actual fact, I've never been on a cruise before. The ship was immaculate. It was built, I gather, in 2022. Launched in 23, I think. We're in 24 now, March. And anyway, so I was following these guys. I've watched a few videos, did my videos when I got back. I walked around with a couple of cameras. I took with me the GoPro that I'm filming on now, GoPro 11. I took with me, fun enough, these guys, I'll show you in a minute actually what cameras I took with me. But apparently these two guys, so when I got back from my cruise, I was doing a little flick round, reading a few videos, watching a few videos. I got back from my cruise, and when I got back, I was still interested in going and booking another cruise this year or next year maybe. And I bumped into these two guys, Cruise with Ben and David. Massive big following, loads of videos. I think all they do is do these cruises. Evidently, I didn't know this, but apparently a few years back, 3 years ago, they did a cruise on an MSC company ship in the collaboration, I think, to do with the One Show, which is a programme that we have over here on the BBC in the UK. I never saw that first footage, I never saw the video. But apparently they gave it a bit of a negative review 3 years ago. Now, I was watching this video the other day when I got back from my cruise. It'd only been up for a little while. A brand new cruise. What happened is they basically put up a brand new video of a cruise on another MSC ship. What they did, apparently, they thought they'd give it another try. Apparently, prior to this cruise they went on, which they paid for, I do believe themselves, they was offered a free cruise with MSC. They turned it down. They paid their own cruise. But they went with yacht clubs. The reason I wanted to watch their video is because MSC do Yacht Club, which is a little bit more expensive, or quite a bit more expensive, and I wanted to know what the advantages were, because when we was on our cruise, I was a little bit peeved, to say the least. A crowd of us were in one of their fancy lifts, going up and down to different levels. A guy got in from nowhere, jumped on this wristband thing, touched it on the screen, pressed a button. Well, this is what I'm sure it happened. I was all in disbelief. Scanned like a wristband on the screen in a lift, pressed his button, the lift went straight down to his level, got off and disappeared. I think it says something about, oh, you can go to your levels now. And I thought, oh, that's a bit rude. What's all that about? I think he was from Yacht Club, which is like for posher people, people with a few more quid. There's one end of the ship where you can't go. They've got their own, apparently, rooms, cabins. They've got butler service, waiter service, waitress service. We had one particular time we got off at the ports for a coach excursion, and there's a couple there. I think it's a bit embarrassing. You wave your Yacht Club wristband about and you get taken straight to the front of the queue. These two guys on the video I'm talking about, on their cruise, I think they was a little bit embarrassed. When they checked in, you get taken right to the front with your bags. It's a little bit, I think they found it embarrassing. I think I'd find it a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. There's only like 10 people in the queue, you jump to the front, it's like fast track type thing. But anyway, when you go to Yacht Club, I wasn't allowed down that area. You got private sections, private restaurants, a few more bits and pieces thrown into the cruise as well. But these two guys, so I got back from my cruise, I thought, what's all this Yacht Club about? So I've done a little search on YouTube and found these two guys, Cruise with Ben and David channel, and they did a video, and I was quite shocked actually. They did a little video where they're going around on this MSC boat, not the same one as me, a different ship, and I think they're from the UK, these guys. They're going around on this ship filming, and apparently I was in the MSC Yacht Club area and doing a little bit of footage. And apparently, during the course of the trip, the staff became more and more interested in what they were doing. They was carrying a couple of cameras, nothing massive, I'll show you in a minute. Done a little bit of footage. The reason I was a little bit interested in watching this, as I say, I was initially interested in watching the footage about the Yacht Club. But then it got more and more interesting, because what happened was, they're quite big YouTubers, they've got a big following on YouTube. They've even been invited on free cruises before. So they were shocked, and everyone else that's watched the video was quite shocked when they were approached by someone from the ship and told them to stop filming. So they said apparently they had a bit of a heated discussion in the end. They said, well, we're not doing anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. They weren't allowed to do any filming at all. put your cameras away. They made up some excuse and said one of the guests on the ship didn't want to be in the video. Well, they're not in the video, apparently they're on the top deck doing some footage. Then they asked, well, can we use your small camera? No, you can't use a small camera. Can we use an iPhone to do some footage? No, you can't use the iPhone. So basically, I was banned from doing any filming whatsoever. Meanwhile, there's people like myself walking around with cameras, filming left, right and centre, with no concerns at all, which is a bit strange. So the video is quite interesting. They actually blanked the video out. They're lucky they had the money. I wouldn't have had the money. They blanked the video out, deleted it, except deleted some of the part footage. They've got no footage of the staff or anything like that. And apparently they got off at the next port, took a plane home back to the UK. I don't think I could have afforded to do that. Maybe it's because they've got a big channel, they earn a few quid. Or maybe it's because they whacked on a credit card. No idea. Maybe the flights were only 50, 70 quid. I'm not sure. Flew back to the UK, put the video up. The funny thing is, the ironic thing is, the video was actually praising up MSC and praising up Yacht Club. And when I was watching the beginning of the video, I'll put a link above or below. When I was watching the video, I thought, this is bloody interesting. I wouldn't mind a bit of that Yacht Club myself. The only thing I found funny was when I was in the cabin was lovely, but they had to stand there moaning about the furniture outside on the balcony. It's just a standard table and chairs, the same as everyone else has. But it's not a problem. It's the standard stuff all over the ship. But the cabin was lovely. The restaurants and the way they were treated was like fantastic, really. A bit over the top, actually. A bit embarrassing, if anything. So apparently they flew back home. MSC then wrote them a letter. They were treated quite badly, actually. MSC then wrote them a letter and said, look, we'll apologise, we'll give you 50% off or something. It's not the way we want our guests to be treated. And I think they sort of like said, don't worry about it. We're not interested anymore. Hot off the press, in actual fact, just today, it's Wednesday, the 13th of March, and just about half an hour ago, they put out a little release, 52 minutes ago, as of 6 o'clock in the evening in the UK. Ahoy, we've just had a meeting with MSC Cruises. We are pleased MSC Cruises are taking this very seriously and have apologised profusely and expressed their disappointment with what happened to us on the MSC World Europa. They're going to be taking proactive measures to prevent such incidents in the future, including the implementation of a fleet-wide training programme to equip crew members with better skills to handle similar situations. Furthermore, MSC Cruises has extended an invitation for us to collaborate on developing a new policy for content creators and filming, taking photographs on board. This policy aims to support both invited and non-invited content creators while safeguarding the comfort and privacy of passengers and crew. We think this marks a significant step forward, as no other cruise line has undertaken such an effort before. So they're making a bit of a thing about it, about how great they are, but at least they're doing something about it. In addition to these measures, MSC Cruises will be providing us with a full refund. Lucky buggers. We really want to move past this incident and transform the negativity surrounding it into something positive. We have accepted the apology offered by MSC Cruises. So that's really drawn a line under it. We sincerely thank you all for your amazing support throughout this all. Now we are eager to refocus on our passion, creating entertaining cruise content and sharing our adventures with you all. Thank you once again for your support. So basically, MSC Cruises have realised they're getting a bit of bad press over this and they've apologised. Now, my take on this is MSC Cruises were totally wrong in their way they've approached this. Having said that, let me show you the camera I filmed with. Now, we've got a small GoPro 11 I'm filming with now. I took that on the cruise with me. The other camera they both used apparently was an Osmo Pocket 3, which is the one I have here, which is the one I did most of my content creating with on the ship. It's a small little camera here. You can see the size of it. Quite unobtrusive. Tiny little thing. Built-in gimbal on the top. Shoots 4K, 1080p 4K. Great little camera. Now, I think what upset people is they also used a bit of a bigger camera. Not too big. Similar to this one, which is one I use sometimes, this is a Sony. I'm not sure which make they use, but they use one like similar to this. I don't think they have the handle on top, but it's a small DSLR. Not very big, flip out screen. But what I think put people off is they had a gimbal. I saw some footage where they had a gimbal, which is to balance it. It's ignore this handle on top. They probably had a microphone. I'll imagine they had a mic on top, but they would have had a gimbal which comes around the top here, underneath to a handle. which balances out. Not massive, but if you're walking around the ship like that, I must admit, even myself, if I've got three or four people walking around the ship with these cameras with gimbals, I myself would be a bit put off. I'm not sure I'd complain or do anything about it, but I can imagine if you paid a few extra pounds to go on Yacht Club and you got these guys with cameras, waving these cameras with gimbals about in your face, I think you'd be upset. They said they weren't waving about their face, but the problem is, what you don't understand or people don't understand is the reason they've used a camera like this is you can get some far better shots. You can get what's called bokeh or bokeh. Basically, you can focus into a person, and then you can have the background blurry. It really looks like nice. You can get some great footage. And what they were going to do is what I do. You can combine that footage with your GoPro footage, with your Osmo Pocket 3 footage. You put all your 1080p or 4K footage together. Great content, which those two guys do. So I'd imagine they was using this camera, and I think they said in one of their videos or their posts that they put up, they were using this camera to get some great effects. So where they were filming a paint on the top deck or in the Yacht Club area, restaurant, or on the deck or the lounge area, I think they were filming the camera like this with a gimbal, and they was aiming at each other, filming each other. The people in the background, I gather, were getting a bit upset. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think, but what they don't realise is they were probably out of focus. Now, what MSC staff, if someone's complained, or MSC staff have complained, what they should have done is looked into it a little bit further, maybe looked at some of the footage. The two guys could have explained what they're doing, but apparently it all kicked off. I think they spoke to you rudely, and I think they was a little bit embarrassed, and as I would be as well. I try to ask people's permission if I'm taking a bit of footage. I try to do like shots where people aren't in view. If you watch any of my ship videos, my cruise ship videos on the MSC Yacht, you'll see that a lot of them were early morning when it was quiet, so I could do a proper tour. Or it was a bit wet in the evenings. I was out on a boat on the evenings when we was put into port, putting out of port, and done a few little clips here and there. I didn't sort of poke in people's faces. I'm not saying that these two guys did by any means, but I've got a feeling I think there's a bit of miscommunication here. I think it got a little bit out of hand and it escalated really quickly. So I feel sorry for the two guys really, but I hope that MSC, when these two guys draw up a policy with MSC, I hope it's not too restrictive. You know, I just want to go on holidays and cruise ships and boats and just create content and have a bit of fun with it. I don't want to start signing forms left, right and centre and stuff like that. But if I have to, I have to. I'm sure I read somewhere when MSC, the cruise ship company, wrote to Ben and David initially, they said that apparently if you're a content creator, you're meant to go to the reception or at the port to let them know that you're creating content on the ship or something. But I never read anything on the website, and I had no text or information about that at all. I just went on with my cameras and did my thing. Maybe if you got more subscribers, it shouldn't really matter though, should it? But I won't want to be restricted by any means. I think they wrote them a letter or an email saying that you got to film at certain times and do this and do that, do the other. There's people content creating all over the place, doing vlogs left, right and centre. It could be for your personal benefit, could be for your family. You know, no one knows what we're up to. You know, what gets me is you're okay to go to the theatre or a show. People have got cameras everywhere filming with their phones, which are high quality cameras nowadays on these new Android and iPhones. High quality cameras indeed. But that's okay. But you pull out something like this, or a little GoPro, or something like I have a camera, like this, the Osmo Pocket thing, and people start creating, I think you're like a little bit more pro, but you're not. It's you know, these iPhones now, they've got fantastic lenses. But there you go. I will say this, that MSC have apologised, but even before they apologised, some family members of mine have watched my videos in particular, and I spoke about the MSC cruise, and they are actually booking a cruise as we speak. I loved my cruise with MSC. A few bits and pieces. I'll do that in another video. There's a couple of one of the excursions wasn't fantastic, but I think they subbed that out to another company. That wasn't brilliant. We had to queue. There wasn't enough shuttle coaches running back and forth to the boat. We had to queue for, it must have been a good 40 minutes. But when we went back to the boat, the two ladies we were with, my partner and the other young lady was with, they complained to reception. They refunded us without quibble straight away, and we got a full refund for that. It wasn't loads of money, only 15 euros per person, but the shuttle coach was not running enough buses and was freezing cold. Lucky it wasn't raining. There's crowds and crowds of people waiting to be taken back to the boat, and there just wasn't enough boats, and wasn't enough coaches, sorry. So I think that was down to the company they subbed it out to, so it wasn't MSC's fault. Embarkation, disembarkation, getting on off the boat was fantastic. The Southampton port was fantastic. I couldn't fault it. The way they give you different time slots to get on is great. Honestly, I loved it. And getting back to the filming, this is what I wanted to tell you. This is why I was so shocked when I saw Ben and David getting sort of told off. If you watch one of my videos, I think it's the wine tasting one, I approached the guy in the wine tasting area who was very, very knowledgeable, and he actually gave me time and spoke to me one-on-one and showed me around the wine tasting area. All good publicity for them. There was nothing negative about it at all. The guy was fantastic. He knew his stuff. Brilliant, brilliant little tour around there. And I've done a video for that, which I've uploaded if you look in my playlist. There's a whiskey shop on the MSC Yacht selling whiskies, different types of whiskies. He was as good as gold. He knew his stuff. He showed me around the shop. Didn't mind the camera in his face at all. Done a little one-on-one interview type thing. Took my camera into the pubs, the English pub on the ship, in the bar. Young lady there and staff there were as good as gold. They don't care. They've got nothing to hide. And I was so shocked that the MSC people sort of stopped Ben and David filming like that. There must have been some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding. I'm glad now they've taken it on board and they're going to do some training. Because I just can't see, when I watched their video from the beginning until they got sort of like told off and they left for their own choosing, but they left. I can't see, there was nothing negative about it at all. But I think what's happened is, they were questioned about the channel. They've obviously done a little search on YouTube, found them, looked at the one about the MSC. They must have recognised them years ago. Looked at the one about MSC in the old days. So it was a bit negative. But the new video they put up was nothing but positive, positive, positive. My videos I put up, positive, positive. The only downside, as I said, was the coach trips. Okay, the bars were a bit busy, restaurants were busy. You couldn't fault the staff. In actual fact, I gave some 100% reviews to some of the staff in the main restaurant in the evening. Couldn't fault the staff. Couldn't fault the ship. It was immaculate, spotless. Couldn't fault the guy that came to our room every day, making our bed, putting the leaflets, pamphlets out for the next day. So he knew exactly what we was going to do the next day, the itinerary. Couldn't fault it. Couldn't fault the cabin. Couldn't fault the sea. I mean, honestly, MSC, if you're watching this, you know, you embarrass yourself a little bit by doing what you did, I think, because if you're giving the two guys, Ben and David, a chance, I think you would have been very, very pleased with what the footage that they actually did do and they were going to put out, you know. But you run in such a big ship. I think there was 6,000. Our ship was full. I think it takes 6,000 passengers. It had close on 6,000 passengers, and the staff work as hard as you like. Couldn't fault it. Prices were a bit dear for the beers, but I didn't get a drinks package. Couldn't afford a drinks package, and you know, if one in the cabin has a drinks package, the other's got to have a drinks package. If you've got children with you, etc., they've got to have a non-alcoholic drinks package. Bits like that. I was a little bit, but I suppose you've got to have some sort of rules, otherwise you'd be getting drinks, hand them out left, right, and centre. I just paid as I go, paid as I went on the card. Worked out fantastic for me. MSC, if you watch this, I loved it. If you make it to the end of this video and you're thinking about going on MSC ship, give it a go. Ben and David have been apologised to. They've had a full refund, and I think they've sort of drawn a line under it now. I think it got a little bit out of hand. So I've read so many posts on the guy's YouTube channel. Never going to use MSC. Never going to use MSC. You can't just not use a ship company. I mean, they're not going to go bust over this anyway. But you can't just not use a ship company because a couple of guys got told off for filming. There's a bit of a misunderstanding. The staff are to be trained up. I hope when I do the collaboration with the staff and do some rules and regs, I hope they don't restrict people with cameras too much, because that's one of the reasons I love going away, is to do my vlogging. So, as I said, family members of mine have already booked MSC cruises already to go away. I think one's in abroad somewhere. I can't remember where, but not the short one we did. We only did a little trial one from Southampton to Hamburg and back. But so, if you're thinking about booking a cruise, you know, the MSC cruises, the ships are gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Not sure about the yacht club. Maybe one day if I can afford it, I'll go on a yacht club and I'll give my views on that. I think I'd be a bit embarrassed being shoved to the front, or would I? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just take it and, you know, you've paid for it, I suppose, at the end of the day. Thank you for watching. I'll put some links below to the different channels and different things I'm talking about if you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. And thank you to Cruising or Cruises with Ben and David for highlighting this situation. And I'm going to pop off now to watch some of the videos to sort out some more cruises for next year or the year after. There's plenty of companies out there to choose from. As I said, don't disregard MSC. I've got nothing to do with MSC, but it's my first ever cruise and I loved it. Really, really great. Thank you again for watching. If you've enjoyed this video at all, please like, subscribe. Comments welcome below. Don't be nasty. No one loves that, do they? Thank you. Cheerio. Bye bye.